Well, nearly 30 million voters across the country have already cast their ballots. But which party could be benefiting the most from those early numbers? Let's bring in our political panel, Hyma and Erin Perrine. Hyma previously served as director to the office of the DNC chairman, and Erin is a Republican strategist who served as the Trump 2020 campaign's press communications director. Erin, it is great to see you again.
It's great to see you.
And Hyma, thanks so much for being right here.
Good to see you.
So, Erin, let's start with you, because early voting tends to benefit Democrats more historically. So what is your reaction to these massive numbers so far?
Well, there are a couple of things to look at when it comes to early voting, and it's in a state-by-state basis. If you look at it in its totality right now, you are seeing that the early voting numbers are tending to skew more toward females nationally. If that remains the case, then Donald Trump's going to have to hope that a ton of guys show up on election day to try to close the gap there, because we're seeing that those demographics are kind of shifting that way. But also, we saw today that SLF, the Senate Leadership Fund, the McConnell-backed group, is putting up a very big I believe, $6 million buy in Nevada right now. And as we've seen in the early vote in Nevada for a few days in a row, Republicans are outpacing Democrats on a 2-to-1 basis. So while you see that money going in there, that state is now going to become more competitive. They see a pathway forward there. Right now, it's all everybody on deck, all get out the vote everywhere. And you're going to see the money chasing from these outside groups where they think they can drive up more turnout.
And Hyma, that is also the case in Georgia, of course, where the vice president is campaigning tonight with many celebrities. So when you think about the early vote, we're seeing record-breaking numbers in that state. What do you think the campaign needs to do to keep it blue?
Yeah, I mean, think about this. In 2020 and 2016, the numbers were very high. I think this year they're going to be even higher, so people are very excited about that. When we think about Georgia, you got to think about a couple of things. So you have cities like Atlanta and Augusta, Athens, Savannah. Those are going to be very important, have been important for Democrats for a very long time. But the thing that we saw in 2020 was the suburbs. So this Cobb County, looking at those, Fulton County, those counties that traditionally have been conservative have been very good to Democrats over the last two cycles. And so I think I want to look at, obviously, the city centers, but then the suburban areas and kind of see. And to Erin's point, women are voting at a very high rate. And if I was Donald Trump, I would be afraid of that. And so we got to see how those women are voting in those suburban counties as well. That's going to be a bellwether for how this election goes.
And Erin, you worked on the Trump campaign back in 2020. When you look at it, from a wider view, how do you think that his campaign is positioned compared to 4 years ago?
I think they're well positioned. I think that they've learned from what we went through 4 years ago. 4 years ago, 2020 was such an anomaly of an election going through the pandemic. But Chris LaCivita and Susie Wiles have done a really good job keeping this team and the candidate on track and on mission. I mean, they've raised a lot of money. They're competitive in these states. They're doing a get out the vote program. They're working, they've got outside groups that are also helping try to drive up turnout. So yes, they've also seen that the political map has changed and the calculus has changed, and that's why you're seeing resource allocation change as well. And so this is a campaign that's being well run. And for Kamala Harris, this is kind of where that detriment comes in for her. Trump had a long runway through the primary, although he wasn't very active in it. But she's had this very truncated campaign. And, it's kind of a famous saying in politics, you want to try to get your first, 75% of your mistakes out in the first 25% of your campaign. Because it was so short for Kamala Harris and her campaign itself, it's been harder to do that, which is why in these closing days here, it's actually harder for her to have a concise closing message, because they're trying so scattershot to get everything in place now since it was so truncated for her.
And Hyma, to Erin's point, we know that the vice president is making a speech. They're branding it as her closing message next week, her closing argument. But she hasn't had that much time to really talk about herself, and we're seeing more and more she's shifting the focus on Trump and why he is unfit, why she says he's a threat. Do you think that's what she should be doing?
I mean, I think to Erin's point, this has been a very short campaign. I think Kamala Harris has done a very great job, and she's been a very good candidate considering the time constraints. But yes, I mean, look, she believes that Donald Trump is not the best candidate to be president, obviously, but she's got to articulate that. And so while we've got to know her over the last couple months, we want to know what's the difference between she and Donald Trump. Why does she feel like Donald Trump is such a bad actor, such as she called him a fascist last night. Why does she think that? And so she's going to articulate that over the next couple of days to give people an option outside of him and say, look, this is Donald Trump. He's bad, bad, bad. And this is Kamala Harris, and she can do these things that would help your life over the next 4 years.
Erin, do you think she has time to do that?
I don't think she does, and I also think that it's an ill-advised strategy for her to decide right now that her closing argument should be Donald Trump bad. The American people are screaming and telling pollsters and telling people every day they care about the economy and they want more information, especially that very small sect of still persuadable voters, on what Kamala will do policy-wise. We know she doesn't like Donald Trump. That's not confusing to anybody. And for persuadable voters, for them, that's already baked in. People who don't like Donald Trump and aren't going to vote for him, they're already there. So her focusing her message on him instead of her, what she would believe to be a forward, optimistic message on the country, I don't think that's going to win her any more votes.
I mean, look, I don't agree with that. I think she's done a good job of putting her message out there. And I think this is a binary choice. If there were 5 candidates in the race, I would say fine. But it's between she and Donald Trump, and she's got to prove that she's the better candidate. I think she's doing that.
But she's not selling herself that way, though. All she's doing is hitting Trump and not putting enough focus on herself. Voters are telling her they want more.
And she believes that Donald Trump is dangerous, and so she's trying to articulate that as much as possible, as often as possible.
Well, we will see soon enough who has the best strategy, if it works or not. Hyma Moore and Erin Perrine, thank you so much for your time.
Good to see you. Thank you.